So I saw this tweet last week from a brand founder, and somebody mentioned that they were doing $30 million a year in direct-to-consumer e-commerce. Now, you can't believe everything that you see on the internet, but it looks pretty legitimate, and he says that he has 10 people on his team. So I wanted to do a quick video breaking down that team because we hire for a lot of e-commerce brands, and if he should be hiring other people and how we should be allocating that spend. First of all, I really like the breakdown as a whole. He has one media buyer, which has turned into more of a commodity skill these days, and then is investing heavily in the creative, which is the real advantage of scaling your ad spend on Meta. Now, if he's doing $30 million a year, he's probably ballpark spending around 10 to 12 million just on Meta, Google, and other media buying channels alone. So if you can ramp up the creative efforts, all the power to him. Overall, if I had to rattle off my guess for how much this is costing him, I would think it's about $10,000 a month for 5 editors, about $2,000 per month overseas. The creative strats vary just based on where they're located. So if it's in the US, probably around 8K a month. If it's overseas, maybe about 4K a month. So it ranges between 12 to 24,000 per month. Let's just call it 16K a month. Media buyer, probably about 7,000 per month. And then the developer, that's an interesting full-time hire. Personally, I would want to work with an agency or a contractor instead of bringing this in-house. But if he really relies a lot on landing pages and CRO is a big priority, I guess it makes sense. I would think if you hire this overseas in like India or Pakistan, you're probably paying like $30 per hour for somebody good. So let's call it like 5K a month. Total cost of this team structure is probably about $38,000 per month or about 450,000 per year. The nice part about this is that if he's making $30 million per year, this is just under 2% of his operating expenses. Most direct-to-consumer brands try to keep their operating expenses around 8 to 12% in the sweet spot. Obviously, this doesn't factor in things like support, ops, product retention, sales, or any other senior marketing hires. So I would say from a pure creative and media buying standpoint, it's actually a pretty good number. The things I'll call out that this person's missing, one is no strategy hire. If I had to guess, up until 30 million a year in revenue, most brand founders actually try to make that themselves. So he's probably a great growth hacker, building out the funnels, doing all of that himself. The other two maybe overseas hires that I would make that I just didn't see mentioned in this tweet was a graphic designer. So somebody who's actually making static ads, somebody who's working on the assets for the website and helping out the developer. And then the other side of this is there's no affiliate or creator manager involved to be able to source more UGC and maybe build up more organic pipeline to acquire more customers. Overall, I think it's a good performance media team. I'd probably give it a 7.5, 8 out of 10 as far as team structure and size goes.